What's up, Buttercups? It's me, Amy Young, coming at you with a very casual Friday freestyle. I like to keep Friday freestyles pretty casual. This hoodie feels extremely casual, but I trust that, we've been doing this long enough, right, that this is cool. We know each other. Hoodies are a great article of clothing. A couple weeks ago in the comments, a viewer asked me to talk about stress management and dealing with unexpected outcomes. And she was asking, I believe it was a she, was asking specifically in the context of like dealing with school and exams. But, I want to broaden this out to just talking about anything in life that comes up that produces stress. And I want to say first and foremost that stress can actually be a helpful thing. I do think that there are sort of two types of stress. I think that there's the stress of like, just wanting to get things done and wanting things to go well. It's like the day, if it's like a big event, like if you're throwing a party or something like that, there's like a buzz in the air that day and you're like, yeah. Like sometimes that can be really good stress. I know sometimes I feel like that if I'm in like a crunch time period with work, I'm like, yeah, I'm really powering through. And it can feel exciting. And then there's just unnecessary stress, which is just like, well, shit's gonna happen in my life. I can't control everything. I would rather not be stressed about it. And I actually find, I don't know that this is gonna be what anybody wants to hear, but I think that this is what really is good to remind yourself of in those moments. Because okay, backtrack a second. Stress, my understanding of what stress is literally in your mind, you are telling yourself that you're gonna have to do something or something's gonna happen that you cannot do or cannot deal with. That's typically what stress means to me, is like I'm thinking about something that's coming up or something that I need to do or something that needs to get done. And I literally do not know if I can do it or what the outcome will be or if it will be okay. That's like what's happening inside. So anyone can relate to that, right? With like feeling like you have a big test coming up and you're wanting to prepare for it. And you're like, I need to do really well on this test if you care at all. And you don't know what's going to be on the test. Or maybe like you've studied, but you don't know what's gonna happen and you're telling yourself, I have to do well, I have to do well, I have to do well. And the reality of it is that you don't know if you're gonna do well. And you're telling yourself that you have to do something that in many ways it's like, it's out of your control. You don't know what it's gonna be like. You don't know what the questions are gonna be on the test. Can we all like relate to that feeling of like, I'm so stressed about this because I really want this certain specific outcome to happen and I'm not in control of that outcome, so I'm stressed out. What I actually find to be super helpful to do in that moment is to like zero in and think about what's actually going to happen. Because almost always what's involved in a certain level of stress is that we're not actually thinking clearly about like all the potential outcomes or what might happen. We just invent these like terrifying worst case scenarios in our minds. And what ends up happening a lot is when we really follow through, like what is the worst case scenario, it is very rarely like, I'm going to die. I'm going to be homeless on the streets. I'm going to be rejected by all of society and left in Siberia somewhere, which is like, I would actually understand to be like, that makes sense why you would be very stressed about that. Who wants to be shipped off to Siberia? The reality is like, maybe I will get a not great grade on this test. And while that might mean something to you, and that might be like carrying a lot of weight for you, maybe me just saying those words stresses you out a little bit, the reality of it that we have to realize when it comes to like, they could go good or it could go bad, is that in both scenarios, you will be okay. Whoa, crazy concept. Things can happen to me that I did not plan for, that I did not expect, and that I did not want, and I can be okay. I could fail something and wake up the next day and I'm still here. Okay, I'm breathing. The sun is shining. I can be okay. I think I'm being a little bit funny about this, but I think we actually need to hear this very badly. Because I think at the core of these fears and these stressors is literally we think, I am being threatened. If this thing doesn't go the way I want it to go, something terribly bad is going to happen to me. And part of why I'm such an advocate for screwing things up and making mistakes and failing and learning that that's a part of life and that's okay is because you have to strengthen this I will be okay muscle, this I'll handle it muscle, this I'll figure it out muscle. Because for a lot of us, especially if if you're just like figuring life out, which I would say, I remember, like when I was in school, getting very stressed out about a lot of stuff. And I look back on it now and I'm like, I can't believe how stressed I was, but that's always how it is, right? Someday I'll look back at this and be like, I can't believe you worried about those things. So neither here nor there. But you have to get used to things not going the way you want them to go, not going well, and being okay anyway. And realizing like life goes on. I'm gonna be fine. I can survive this. I can handle this. And the more that you can remind yourself of that and feel that, not just like think about it, but really think of all the times in your life where you were convinced the sky was falling and the sky did not fall, or it did in some capacity, and you're still standing and you still survived and you're gonna keep surviving and people still love you and your life is still happening. Shit, I guess maybe I can be okay. And in that moment of tension and unproductive stress, if you can access, okay, A is gonna happen or B is gonna happen, regardless of the circumstances, I'm gonna be just fine. That's an incredible comfort. Because what we tend to do is think A is gonna happen, I'll be okay. B is gonna happen, I'm not gonna be okay, whatever it is, I'm not gonna be okay, I'm not gonna be okay. Both, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be fine. Really. Like, take that on. And again, yeah, dig for it in your life. Look for evidence from the past. When did I truly think shit was hitting the fan, the sky was falling, and yet here I am? There's this great meme, I love this so much, that says, just a reminder, thus far, you have a 100% survival rate for every virtual shitstorm you have faced in your life. 100% survival rate. That's really, really, really good. That's a really good sign that no matter what happens, plan A or plan B, you will continue to survive. And it is helpful to remember, I said this in my Friday freestyle a month ago, maybe on Camp Special Snowflake. I never know if it's going to show up on the left or the right. I'll just post a card here. And now I completely lost my thought. I said, it's gone. We'll go watch that video. That's all I got. How do you feel? You feel okay? This felt really good for me. I really want you to take this in, okay? And this is the thing, is that we cannot control life, we cannot control outcomes. Life gets a lot better when we aren't outcome dependent and when we aren't imagining ourselves as these like fragile, weak beings who are only gonna be okay if things go our way all the time. Life isn't like that. It just isn't. You can still be okay, you can still thrive, you can still survive, and look good doing it. Ding! I hope that you're having a great day, night, weekend, wherever you are. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. I would really love to see you on a regular basis. If you want to connect with me over on amyyoungcoaching.com, click the link in the description box, enter your email over there, and I'll visit your inbox very soon. That'd be super cool to connect with you that way. Thank you for dealing with my hoodie and my brain fart, and until next time, breathe easy, and I'll see ya.